The Fillmore Central Falcons improved to 6-1 with a 41-14 win over Wabasha Kellogg last Thursday night. Head coach Chris Mensink here to recap that game. And coach, what were your overall impressions after looking at the film?
Yeah, I think, we kind of got off to a little slower start. We opened and took the ball, um, but went out on downs right away, so we didn't get the start that we wanted. But I think our kids responded well and put together some nice drives after that and picked up the pace. We were up 27-0 at half, but it didn't really feel like we had executed like we wanted to. But at the same time, we got 14 in the third and then gave up some late scores for the 41-14 win. So we're happy with another district win, our last seniors final last home regular season game. So it was a great night. John Malaya from the State High School League was down, so that was a great experience for our kids and our community as well. So had good balance. I thought we had good balance. We threw the ball pretty effectively. Bryden had another efficient night. He threw for, what do we have him for? 265 yards, so 14 out of 21 with those 3 touchdowns. Did have one interception, and that was a later interception. It was 4th and 15, and we took a shot deep and said, hey, if it gets picked, it gets picked. It's just like a punt. It was down close to the end zone. So, I think he has, like we talked last week, he's got 3 picks on the year, and one was a tip ball, and 2 of them were in those situations. So that's on us, not on him. So and again, had over 100 in the rushing department as well. So again, good balance offensively and defensively. I thought we played pretty solid most of the night as well. Do have to work. We were +3 in the turnover margin, which we're very happy with. Got a couple fumbles when they were driving, and then got a few picks as well. We did have 5 penalties though, and 3 offsides. So those are some things that we got to continue to clean up. Those pre-snap penalties for sure.
What allowed your defense to be that playmaking defense, taking the ball away 4 times last week?
Well, I think part of it was Wabasha. When we got that early lead, Wabasha was forced to throw the ball, and they do have the quarterback that can do that. But I think our defensive secondary, they do a good job of reading, and we got some good speed on the back end. So very happy with that, and it all comes down to that film work too, having an understanding of what they're trying to do and where they want the ball to go. So kids continue to do a great job in the film room.
And we talked about last week, Bryden and his development at quarterback. Haven't touched really on Greg Kennedy as a wide receiver. Great night for him last week. 6 catches, 111 yards, 1 touchdown. Obviously, having a target like that has helped Bryden, but Greg himself, how has he developed throughout the year?
Well, I tell you, having the speed and the size that he had, what a great combination. Teams are starting to try to take him away as well. But Bryden definitely picks his spots, and when he's available, he gets him the ball. And I think once Greg gets the ball in his hands, he's a threat to score from anywhere. So he's got such a unique gift that way, and in that size and speed. So great weapon, and we're sure glad he's on our football team.
And we've talked about Kane Larson as an offensive threat, but he had 9 tackles on defense the other night. Obviously, his offensive performance gets a lot of attention, gets a lot of headlines, but do we give him enough credit as a defensive performer?
Yeah, defensively, I think Kane has definitely taken a nice step as a leader on that defense at a linebacking position. Him and Atlee quarterbacking that defense, and we gave him an opportunity to do that with some younger kids as well during that game. And I really liked his approach as well. And like you said, we don't talk much about our defense, and I think if you look at the stats there too, they're very spread out. We don't have one guy making all the plays, but guys are disciplined and in the position and making plays when they need to make them. And I think our tackling has gotten better the last few ball games. Early in the season, I thought we're sometimes tackling too high and missing a few tackles. And I know our Coach Broadwater tracks that every week. How many missed tackles do we have? But they definitely improved, and we're getting hats to the football and gang tackling and making plays. So, like you said, if you look at the stats, Anthony Keeney from his corner position and safety position had 5 tackles. Josh Halgrid at linebacker had 7. Greg Kennedy at corner had 6. Cody Surfling at his linebacker had 5. Kane led us last week with 9 at his linebacker position. Peter Halgrid had a tackle, Parker Craig a tackle, Connor Hovey a tackle, Ashton Newman, a freshman, came in and had 2. Atlee Hirschberger at his linebacker had 5. Joey Ristow at end had 4. Leighton Ingen and Brody Niemeyer at defensive tackle had 3, and Brody had 2 at end. William Betcher came in and had a tackle. Ryan Schroeder and Joseph Otto, a pair of sophomores, came in at tackle and had a pair, and Tyler Galbranson had two as well. So again, we're getting a nice rotation there and getting some guys some opportunities. And when the opportunity arises, they're making the plays. So yeah, defensively, if you look at stat wise and yardage wise, this may be a little misleading because some of that yardage from Wabasha came later in the game. But again, very happy with our defensive performance.
And you look at overall in the season in points given up, outside of the Blooming Prairie game, you haven't given up more than 2 scores in a game. That's giving yourselves a pretty good chance to win if you play defense like that, correct?
That is, if we can limit that, and that's obviously the goal is for the shutout. But if we can limit those scores defensively and give our offense a short field, we're very confident in our offense is pretty explosive and can put up some points. So, yeah, definitely that's the goal. And again, in some of these more lopsided games, you get some kids some opportunities and put them in position, and we're happy with the development of our younger players as well.
And has that allowed some depth to be developed because you got a lot of football games in a short amount of time coming up? Hopefully, when you keep winning football games, do you feel that some depth has been established through those opportunities you just mentioned?
We do. That's the goal. We want to kind of, sub one or two guys and get them in there with the first team and get them some confidence as well. And player development, younger development, and keeping your guys healthy. It's a fine balance at this time of year, especially when you're playing on Wednesday and you're playing on Thursdays and you're playing on Tuesdays and you get that shorter turnaround. Your JV, you throw another JV game in there, and some of those JV kids are playing 4 quarters then, like they did last night, and then they turn around for practice tonight and game tomorrow. So that's it's a lot of stress on those kids, but again, we want to put them in positions to be successful as well and continue to develop those younger guys.
And this week, you make the trip up to Kenyon Wanamingo. What are you expecting on Wednesday night?
Yeah, a lot of option, and obviously they've got a new quarterback. Last year they had a Will ran quarterback for him, big athlete, great decision maker. A little different size kid at quarterback this year, but same concept. So again, when you have that triple option, kids have got to be disciplined and stay in their spots and make the play when it comes to them. Do I have the dive back? Do I have the quarterback? Do I have the pitch back? And then they mix in a little pass as well. So very tough tough offense to defend, and our kids are going to have to be disciplined once again this week.
And you talked about the team concept of your defense, and you're going out and executing it in a style that I might not get the tackle, but if I do my job, my teammate's going to get the tackle. Being the fact you've improved on that end of things, does that give you a little bit more confidence facing a tough offense to defend?
That does. When you're gap control, and that's what we preach to our kids, like you might not make the tackle, but you got to do your job, right? Because, they have good coaching staff as well. And if we're not in position, they're going to find that and they're going to attack that weakness. So we got to continue to be disciplined on that side of the ball.
All right, Coach. Hopefully you can end the season in style on Wednesday night and head right into the sectionals with some more positivity. Keep your kids healthy. We wish best of luck.
Thank you, Darren. Appreciate it.
Chris Mensink, head coach of the Fillmore Central Falcons. It's Fillmore Central at Kenyon Wanamingo this Wednesday night.